Yeah.
Oh shit.
Sorry, my internet crashed.
Your what?
My internet crashed.
Dude, that was so fucking funny, man. I'm sitting here talking. Even like he's I alt tab and you're in the Discord. I was like, damn, he was not feeling my conversation.
No,
bro.
well, I was like, have you flown the Avenger Warlock? And then it was just like dead silent. And I was like, okay.
Yeah, dude, the Warlock was sick, but I was disappointed by it because the ramp in the back like still comes down. Looks like you could fit some shit in there, but it just is like it just holds the fucking the EMP in there, generator.
So you can't
So it's
put
like-
anything in there.
Maybe you could put like some maze boxes in there. You could probably put parcels.
Right.
I was hoping like I could shove a Fury in that bitch, or like fucking a Dragonfly would still fit in it or something. I don't think it has any cargo.
No, I think it's specifically like a fighter
Right.
interceptor type
They
thing.
take out the 8 SCU and they fucking slap a generator in there, and then like there's like still some like empty space in there. You have the whole ramp to walk up into, and then like there's like kind of like the Cuddy Blue. It has like this square spot where it looks like you could fit some shit like right as you walk up into generator.
Right.
And I don't know, I'm just I'm a sucker for being able to haul some shit. You know what I mean? Boxes or like vehicles. I fuck with it.
Yeah.
But the Avenger Warlock is right there with like the rest of the interceptors, faster than all of its other variants. So it could be an interceptor.
Right.
You have the Stalker.
Is it the Warlock or the Stalker? Oh yeah, you said that the Warlock has the EMP, right? See, I was wondering like how fun that EMP is as like an interceptor. I'm wondering if like
probably
that's
really
why the Sentinel is like so
to the
nimble.
ASOC
I wonder if like
retrieval
ships
system.
with EMPs are just like have some type of flight model right now that's causing them to be like a little bit more nimble since they have like an EMP in them.
Well, they're supposed to be.
Right.
They're supposed to be, because the EMPer is like you have to basically touch the enemy ship with your
Your
with your
insurance
ship.
claim
essentially.
has
But like
been
a
sent.
Sentinel
Pretty close.
shouldn't like be that like nimble, you know? So just like by sheer size of it, and like
Yeah.
just like the way the rest of them are. You know, you think they would it would be faster naturally, just so it could like be an EMP type ship. But I would assume it would still kind of be limited to like a certain type of flight model based off of that like series.
Yeah, I mean it's still not an arrow,
Please
but the
visit
Sentinel is definitely OP when it comes to like. I still think an arrow circles around it, but like we were fighting that Sentinel that one day, and it was like I think I was in my Gladiator, and JP was in a Corsair, so it's like Sentinel's gonna spin circles around ships that like can't turn.
Yeah.
The Sentinel handles pretty close to a fighter. You
Well,
can-
it's like-
you can circle people.
See, that's like not the only thing I have like kind of like ticks with their flight models. It's kind of like with the Starlifter variant, the C2 and stuff. They fly crazy good. Like, and you would think they would be more of a whale. I'm just like curious if it's ever gonna change. Like if those are ever gonna be feel heavier. Like kind of like how the Caterpillar feels really heavy, man.
Yeah.
You can't even get it
Heavy
off the
jump.
ground without thrusting off the ground. So it's like, I'm hoping the Caterpillar, maybe it'll come into C2 range when they get a gold standard, and I'm hoping they rework the thrusters so they VTOL like they're supposed to, the big thrusters, so they VTOL to the ground, and then you wouldn't have to thrust to get off the ground if it actually VTOL'd like the Cuddy did, like how like pretty much all Drake ships do, other than the Corsair, who has like different thrusters, you know.
Yeah.
So it'd be cool
gonna
to
be
see
interesting, man.
the cat do that. just have like a VTOL to its thrusters, like all the other Drake ships.
The Cat, it has a big thruster on the back, right?
It has two
its forward
massive thrusters, like a Cuddy would, you know.
Right.
But like Caterpillar sized, and they have the joints just like a Cutlass do, you know, like where they pivot on the thrusters. It's identical on the Caterpillar, just larger scale. And
That would be
so
sick to see a fucking Caterpillar.
I think it's
the fuck out.
Yeah, I think it's supposed to be there, bro. Like,
Yeah.
cause then like imagine jettison the front of it off, and you just have like a larger type Cutlass looking shit. You know, it's like, cause that's kind of technically what it is without the cargo bays. It's just an
Dude,
oversized
imagine
Cutlass.
The fucking ship has like less mass and actually like handles better after you jettison one.
Dude, no, I guarantee it does. It might actually be even kind of crazy if you could jettison, like once you jettison the cargo off of it, it might like be kind of formidable, you know?
Yeah.
Cause it's got like M4As and M4 or M the A5s and the A4 cannons, whatever those are, the M4s and the M5 cannons.
Yeah.
Those it comes with 2 of each of those on the pilots. So
Nice.
I mean, I feel like once you can get to the point where you can pull the cargo bays off, you could put hard fixed weapons on it and maybe like be a menace, because right now it's like really slow. You kind of have to rely off the gimbals to do anything with it.
Right.
Please visit us again.
I don't know, just pipe dreams, man. I'm just waiting for him to come out the pipeline.
The man turrets are fucking strong as shit.
The turrets are crazy. You could put 84 Bs on them and they would just go sicko. So like the one on the back, if you were to like specifically put ballistics on it, you could like just have a crazy little like just cockpit of a ship.
So are you on? Do you have Urkel up right now?
Nah.
Pull Urkel up, and then when you go and you look down at one of the ship's thrusters, it shows you how many G's forward their thrusters are supposed to put out, and then their thrust capacity, MN forward, right?
What?
I've been looking at this a lot and just like trying to find ships that are punchy, and I'm wondering about these stats because I was asking around and everybody was like, "That's the only way you can see like how powerful their thrusters are right now." But the numbers are weird. Like it's like kind of hard to like gauge off of those numbers, like how powerful the thrusters are. But it says that its fucking forward capacity is 44.23 forward. I don't know what MN stands for.
Yeah, I'm not sure either.
If I go and I pull up where's Mantis. The Mantis has 10 G's on its forward thrust, and you can feel it. Like all I'd have to do is just hit afterburner going straight. My guy will black the fuck out fast.
Right.
In a Mantis. Thrust capacity. Is this maybe how much afterburner you have? 22.4 MN forward.
I'm not sure.
I think that might be how much afterburner that motherfucker's got. Dang.
What's your say for thrust capacity?
For what?
On whatever you're looking at right now.
Just switched to a Drake cutter, and it says 5.15 G forward, thrust capacity 4.39.
Huh.
Right. I'm assuming like you hit your afterburner, and then
4.3. See the Caterpillar has 44.23.
Yeah, and I would assume that like especially with like the Carrack, the afterburners don't make that huge of a difference, but you still use them because you want to get that little bit of extra juice out. And so it's like you're fucking that 44. I think that's how much afterburner you have in the fucking afterburner tank. Thrust capacity, right? That makes sense. The capacity of how much thrust you have And it would make sense that the bigger ships are way higher because they need to have more fucking afterburner fuel. Otherwise, like, you know, if you only get fucking 5 seconds, it's gonna do nothing in the Caterpillar, you know? You need to hit the afterburner and be like holding the afterburner the whole time, leaving atmosphere, so it has the strength to push. So they have like longer, at least that's how it is in the Carrack. Like I have a huge fuel tank for my afterburner in the Carrack. Like I can just sit there and hold it for a minute or two and not run out. Whereas like in a Gladius, it's like fucking afterburners are out, recharging.
Dude, I wish the heat up was still a thing with repeaters, man. Like,
I just use the attritions regardless.
It would, well, I mean, like, it would make turrets much stronger, dude, because turrets have way more ammo capacity. You're shooting them for way longer, and
if you don't, I don't know if you remember, but that just happened in 318. The turrets having a shit ton of ammo.
Right, yeah. So it would make turrets like on the Caterpillar much more viable. So like instead of having rhinos on it by default, you run attrition 4s on your turrets, and like the longer somebody engages your Caterpillar, the stronger the turrets get, you know, because they're heating up more and more. So it's like, dude, that was so sick. And then like eventually you get them too hot, you know, and they're fucking ruined. You melt your cannons, you know, so it's like,
or just like you start shutting down certain systems. Like back in the day, like
I think there should be critical malfunctions, man. Like you just like can't use them. If you fucking use them too much, you know, sometimes you have to. It's like life or death, you know. Like I either burn my cannons up and survive, or I try to keep my cannons from burning up and we die possibly, you know. So I think there should be some type of stuff like that.
Yeah, attritions I think definitely need to be implemented. See, I get like mixed opinions on it. Like some people I ask and I read about it and it's like, yeah, they 100% work as intended, and then like other people are saying they don't. So it's like I have no fucking clue. But our boy Smooth, he's the one that like originally told me, he's like, yo, attritions are strong.
Right.
But like I think that's fake news.
No. He, I talked about it with him last time. He was like, yeah, it's unfortunate. Like, everything's just the fucking same now. But it's like, hopefully when the rework comes in with like ballistics, fucking distortion rework, you know, hopefully that all gets added back in. I think they're trying to avoid, so like now with like how you can take stuff off of ships, like weapons and stuff, whenever you take it off, it has health to that item specifically. So you can't like put a broken repeater onto your ship. And I think hopefully they're gonna work in that overheating factor into the health of the component, you know, of the weapon component. So it's like I'm saying, if you overheat them too much, they just straight fall off your fucking ship and float away. You know, like that would be fire, dude.
Just fucking molting.
Yeah, dude. You just lose your guns, bro. Like
a little cicada carcass of a fucking panther.
Yeah. Because like they're adding in wear and tear, so like you would physically be able to see if these cannons have been overheated, you know. Like that would be fire.
Yeah, that'd be a good fix for like ground weapons as well. Personal weapons, like, you know, you can't just fucking keep using the same railgun for the whole entire match. Like you get a few shots and then that motherfucker degrades. Yeah, that durability's definitely coming. I don't know how they're gonna like, you know, work like make it
it's work, like
but
already halfway in the game. So these artifacts that I've been talking about, you can find them in 3 different qualities of deterioration. You can find one that's like almost completely deteriorated. You can find one that's like still in decent condition, and then you can find a pristine one of all of the artifacts.
See, that's how salvage works too. Every time you roll up on a salvage ship, it's either one of those three. You know, you might find
Right.
one that's pristine and it's fucking lucrative as shit.
Right, and see, like, so like the decommissioned ones, you should naturally be able to go up into them and find parts that are still like full health quality, so they should sell for more.
Imagine when you buy a ship in game that it's fucking like certified pre-owned.
Dude, I
Instead of it being
swear,
like,
if we could ever run a used car dealership in Star Citizen, I'll be.
oh, that'd be hard.
I'll be
That'd
right
hard.
back into my GTA vibe, dude,
Dude,
because like the homies
fucking-
used to run a used car lot, and it was sick,
Right.
bro. It was so
But
sick.
like, right now, it's like if you buy a ship within game, it's a brand new ship, right? Which I think is good for players that aren't like just spending a fuck ton of money on Star Citizen. Like they need to not just be grieved for not spending, right?
Right.
So you buy it, it probably should be in pristine condition when you buy it, you know. But durability on ships even I think is important because that's like death of the spaceman. Like,
Yeah.
you know, you crash your Arrow once and your insurance managed to salvage it, but you fucking crash it 2, 3, 4, 5 times, you know, your insurance rates are going up for every time you're salvaged fucking claiming that one as well, to the
Well, I
point
think
where it's
like repair rates at like pads should be, they should have like, you know, labor charges to them, you know, like, so it
little
should
receipt.
be something that like makes you not want to go there as much. It actually kind of like incentivize you to have a multi-tool and, you know, like salvage off of some junk you find to like patch your ship up. And, you know, like maybe you flew through like a storm and, you know, you gotta like fix up some fucking leaks on your ship, dude, like with the torch.
Right. And like, you know, Space Tomato?
Wait, say what? Say that again?
You know Space Tomato?
Nah.
He's like is like one of the content creators for fucking Star Citizen. That's like
Yeah.
pretty big.
Oh, yeah, I haven't seen him yet.
He's like, welcome to my tomato talk. But yeah, so he's dope as fuck, dude. But he was like, he's like a
Thank you.
D-Gen news reporter for Star Citizen. Like this dude goes deep, compiles all this shit, and then makes video, right? And
Yeah.
he just like goes into like fucking talking about certain mechanics and stuff, and like he's basically saying that the weather with things is like gonna make snub fighters even more viable. Even like certain weather, you're gonna want, you know, a smaller ship, and that just like cuts through the storm rather than just like your cutlass is getting blown around by it, right? Like certain ships will be able to like just cut right through storms. And
Right.
like Pyro, he showed a bunch of fucking images that are like have been leaked over time of Pyro, and Pyro has like huge fucking canyons and shit, dude. Like basically whole like almost like cave systems that you go into in your ship, and you fucking explore these like cavernous areas in a snub ship. You won't be able to fit anything but a snub into these areas. So it's
Right.
like, and then there's also like cave systems where you'll drop in on your ship, and then you can tell all the tunnels and the caves, they're bored out to where like rovers can fit in there, and like they're basically roads. So like you would not traverse this tunnel on foot if you're smart. Like it would take you hours, right? So there's like tunnel systems in Pyro they've got worked on where you're incentivized to haul in a fucking ground vehicle and actually explore with your fucking rover and like go deep into these caves to figure out what the fuck's up.
Right.
Or you know, fly your snub ship into these caverns and shit. It looks sick as fuck, dude. And like they're definitely pushing towards us like being incentivized to like haul shit more. Bring a vehicle with you, bring a snub with you, you know. It's like I really hope we get the summoning ships within ships soon to make that more convenient. But I saw that shit, dude. Like basically they're like forcing us to like have a snub ship to like explore certain areas or have a vehicle to explore certain areas. And now it's like with that, you have to have certain toys to explore certain areas, right?
Right.
Which is tight.
Yeah, no, it's they're adding that in. There's supposed to be a lightning storm they're adding in to like somewhere in Crusader. Like I think JP said Daymar or some shit.
Yeah, they're like testing it on like one planet or some shit first.
Yeah, it's like the river. So they're working on water dynamics right now, and like how like swimming, like their swimming's gonna be a thing here soon. Water's actually gonna have motion to it, and it's gonna like we're gonna be able to make it move when we interact with it and shit. So
dude,
the
I wanna be
constellation
flying.
Phoenix is literally gonna have its hot tub soon, in other words.
Fuck yeah, dude. Imagine low flying over a body of water and you just see that fucking wake behind you kicking up.
Exactly, dude. You're in a snub fighter, low flying over the ocean, and it's just fucking.
Just see the fucking water splitting underneath.
You got
it from the
fucking dolphins.
Fucking what the fuck?
Dude, that'd be sick. You got fucking waves in Star Citizen.
Well, I mean, all right. This motherfucker said dolphins.
Yeah, dude, the Microtech dolphins. Or you could like go see big turtles, like big sea turtles. They like start off with the small turtles, and now you got like big ass sea turtles you can go swim with.
Oh, dude, that fucking basically turns the game into Subnautica, dude.
Right. Dude,
That's
yeah.
what people have a hard time. I think that's what people like don't. They have a hard time believing in it is because they're just promising so much and like they're working on it. You know, they're working on all these things. But it's hard to like believe that it's gonna be like that. You know, like fucking one day there's fucking.
I mean, it's just hard to
full-blown
believe that it's
Subnautica.
gonna be like getting more than like 150 200 people all together at once. You know, I feel like it's gonna be on this level almost for a long time, dude. Like the server cap might go up to 150 or it might stay like this and we get like 60 FPS servers, you know, until they finally get server meshing. Like server meshing will be groundbreaking, not only for Star Citizen but for many other games that purchase their tech to use. So it's
They said it's only they're gonna roll it out, so it's like server meshing, you know, 1.0 is gonna be.
dude,
basically
they
go to,
like
like 200 people.
Chris Roberts is still saying fucking pyro by the end of the year, 4.0 by the end of the year.
But, like,
So
I was looking through the roadmap and like they're going to roll out server meshing. So like when server meshing and pyro first drop, we're only gonna have like 200 people servers, like you said. Like server meshing will start out as something that's like, you know, more in the background. We're gonna get a little extra people in the server, maybe better server rates, whatever, server frame rates. But like they said it themselves, like they're gonna slowly roll out to the point where it's like fully persistent universe. So it'll start out with like an upgrade to 200, and then as it starts to be more fleshed out, and they dial it in, then they'll be able to go to 500, and then eventually to they're saying, you know, thousands per server.
right, yeah. It's just I'm curious
End
to
of this
see.
year, server meshing is only gonna boost us to like 150 people, and like I'm not really sure.
Well,
how
that's like
server
I think server. That's like per, like how Booth explained it. It's per container. So like you could have 150 people at Orison and then 150 people at Daymar. Like you leave Orison and you go to
Right.
Daymar and see a
And
completely
that's-
different 150 people in a different container.
And that's when they like fully flesh it out. That's not server meshing 1.0. That's gonna be way further along. Like basically the way they're talking about it in the roadmap is server meshing 1.0 is like pretty basic. It's just gonna basically increase the server population. And then like as we get further,
Server
it'll be,
meshing
you know,
1.0 is more or less for commodity and dynamic eco like stuff, like
Yeah.
dynamic commodity systems more rather than like Whereas before, when everything was in the game files, when the cargo system and everything was in the game files, they've now moved it to the back end where they can create like API tokens and stuff for people to like dynamically track it, whether in game or out of game, without having to access game files. It's just through a server token. And then like the tick rates should be much more stabilized. You know, they should be able to take that tick rate that's 5 SCU per minute at the commodity stations. You should be able to dynamically actually see it happening, see it being like built up, instead of always going to these outposts and seeing everything at low inventory. You know, like you could wait there, let the inventory get to medium, or you wait there and let it get to full inventory, you know. And then like drug trading will actually be much more viable because you could get obscene amounts and then take it somewhere without having to wait or do multiple jumps. You know, like right now we caught that one dude. He was really mad because he probably had to jump to like 3 different fucking locations to pick all this shit up, wait at one console for fucking 30-40 minutes just for it to keep stocking stuff, just to low inventory. And like I said, that whole time he's devaluing. I think it'll just give us a better way to not devalue cargo, and then have a more open commodity system that's not scuffed. I don't know. It's just still kind of stuffed, even though they've physicalized cargo.
One thing that worries me is that like they basically have said multiple times like they're only gonna shoot for a tick rate of 30, and that's low as fuck.
What do you mean tick rate of 30?
Like their server tick rates, they're only shooting for 30, a tick rate of 30, whereas like normal like competitive FPS games, it's a tick rate of like 70 to 100. So it's like there's gonna be like
no, they just talked about like pushing server FPS to 60 in Arena Commander.
FPS, tick rates. The tick rate is not the same as the server FPS.
So explain tick rate to me? Are you talking like
dude,
you're talking like latency? Video, you're talking like the latency effect between FPS and like the reaction of the server?
Like the tick rate is literally like has a lot to do with the desync right now. Like because it's such a low tick rate, literally it's just the information is getting lost essentially. But as far as like tick rates in the video game, like you're gonna have to watch a whole ass video on that shit. Like I'm not trying to.
So usually that's like response time. Like it's pretty much your response time. It's the tick rate. So it's like refresh rate of the server pretty much, or refresh rate of your monitor is a tick rate.
Yeah.
So like right now, if you look at the metrics of the system, we got 60 FPS. My shit's running 60 FPS, but I have a 16.7 millisecond latency rate just on my end, and that's like the tick rate.
Simple Google search says tick rate in a game refers to how many times information is updated a second, usually measured in hertz. A 64 tick rate server will update info 64 times in a second. And like they're only shooting for 30.
Okay, well, I mean, like when you're talking about like all these other games, like competitive games having like 60 or higher, you're talking games that are like arena shooters and stuff, right? Like small map based stuff,
like CS:GO and like things like that nature that are like super competitive. Rocket League, they're all running on like 128 tick rate servers. 128 is the standard.
Right. See, I think the reason why they don't really need anything much more than that, right, like is because the flight model is supposed to bring combat speeds down. Ground FPS really isn't that fast paced. You know, you're not sprinting around and like flicking people in Star Citizen. You're not trying to 360 no scope people in Star Citizen. You know, I don't really see it needing to benefit from more than 30, you know, because like the flight combat's gonna come down with the new flight model to such like lower speeds that information that's being lost due to desync through flight speeds, due to people just sprinting around running the whole time, once the servers are actually stabilized to a constant 30 server FPS, it's going to be less noticeable. It's you know, it's not, it's going to come down more to
what the tick
ping.
rate is right now.
Right, yeah, it's
Might only be 30 right now, but the
yeah, I don't know. I just know like the commodity tick rates just pretty much don't even work for Vices, at least. Like and from pretty much mostly everything. The reason why it's like unnoticeable for a lot of commodities is because like the things people trade, they'll have like 30,000 SCU in stock. So it's like, if it's at low inventory and it's just absolutely being farmed out of its fucking mind. But with the Vices and stuff, you have very limited stock, so it's like constantly, almost always in low inventory, because people in different servers on the shard are all buying it at one time, and it's trying to be dynamic across this shard, and the tick rates aren't consistent across the shard server per server, so it's not even working.
I honestly, like, as far as like tick rates and shit go, like, I don't really pay attention to shit, but like,
Welcome
it's
to the
Battlefield.
vehicle retrieval system.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like,
games,
all
they,
commodities,
like,
they tell you like,
slacking on their fucking tick rates too.
yeah, see, like each commodity tells you its tick rate, like this many SCU per minute, you know. So it's like something you're supposed to be able to watch, but
I think we're talking about two different.
No, you're talking about tick rates on like game information where it's like you're interacting with another asset. I'm specifically talking about the tick rates you can actually dynamically watch. Like, and I was talking about them all of them in general. They're still very similar, but commodities have their own specific tick rates that don't work at all right now, is what I've been saying the whole time. And until they fix the servers, it's never gonna change. And it's the same thing with combat tick rates or interaction tick rates on any level.
Yeah, I'm hoping server meshing, you know, ties it all together.
Right. No. Oh, old big boys? Yeah. Yeah.
That's what I was saying in Arena Commander too, like how we like felt like it was delayed as fuck in your Commander, getting 30 server FPS, best frames we've had. Like, Arena Commander seems super fucking delayed. Like, my bullets aren't even registering half the time, and to me that's because it's got an insanely tick rate.
Yeah.
I have better I've better.
I don't know, when I watch anyone
shooting
else,
someone BU than like, basically my bullets just never even register.
when we were in Arena Commander, I couldn't find anybody that was flying like slow. Everyone was jousting, and like that's the whole point of the new flight model, is to get rid of these people that just want to fly as fast as they can back and forth and just trade with you like that. Like the server tick rate's obviously gonna have a hard time like keeping up with things that are moving at a certain speed, and it's like when I watch people that are actually like trying to fight an Arena Commander, they'll like, it's always one-on-one, and they're like, there's like an unspoken rule that we're only gonna fly at this speed type of thing, to like, so we can actually duel. And like I don't know, this guy I was watching, he kind of didn't even like want to fight people who were just jousting.
The tick rate might actually be the server FPS. I might literally our tick rate right there. Of like if it's 4, have a tick rate of 4.
Yeah, that's pretty much what I understood it as. So I didn't really like understand what you were trying to tell me. It was like fluctuating, because you can see all the server dynamics if you open it up in the console. So it's like you should be able to see the tick rate if it was anything different other than server FPS. Like if it, I would have thought that it would have been something along the line of like bandwidth in. I feel like the server tick rate might be reliant off of something like that too, like how much bandwidth the server can allocate to refresh. Oh yeah, dude, I totally forgot what I was looking for. I think I looked though and I couldn't find it. Cause sometimes the bandwidth in just goes really high, like higher than normally is, like up 2-3 bandwidth in for me. So I'm just like, I don't know what that does for the server itself. This is definitely not where I was, so, but I'm gonna check the shop. It'd be sick if there was like reputation with the shops, like specific shops.
Damn.
Welcome to the ASOP Vehicle Retrieval System.
Oh, I'm on the pad. I was like, what the fuck? Oh, go back, go back, go back! Almost dead.
Wow.
What's up? I was watching Greasy Khaleesi last night, dude, and he pisses people off so bad. He literally just be fucking yoinking people's ships on the ground. Just sitting in their fucking seat in armistice and holding it fucking hostage. I can't. He's gonna have to find a new shtick though once ship trespassing comes out, dude, because I think that'll just fuck his whole thing up. Maybe not. I don't know if that'll affect his armistice status. They might be able to like break his neck since he was like armistice is revoked. Damn, I was muted that whole time.
Yeah,
What the fuck were we talking about? Oh, yeah. Yeah, see, I was, I always thought server FPS was a tick rate, and that's why I thought commodities were so fucked.
I think it is. Like, I was just like, there's a little bit of basic, like, it's not just like, right now we're getting like average 9 tick rate, right? But it's an unstable tick rate as well. So it's like, it's 9, but there can be like a hiccup to where the set, like, let's say me and you turn corners on each other and we both get in a firefight. The reason why a lot of the time, like, you shoot someone and you feel like you outgunned the fuck out of them and you still trade is because, like, the moment you turn the corner, you guys fucking firefighted in between a tick. And so, like, either half of their damage or half of your damage didn't even get registered.
Right.
And that's, like, basically what's happening. Like, you know, you go to fucking dump your mag from ship to ship onto another person, and it's, like, during an unstable tick.
See, and I'm wondering how much bandwidth in affects the server, because right now the bandwidth in be going up to like 6 megabytes per second sometimes, and I'm wondering if that's like good or bad. You know, like I'm wondering if more bandwidth in would make the tick rate better, you know?
Yeah.
Or if server FPS is just the king of all tick rate control.
Yeah, I think server FPS is our tick rate. Because we're set for 30 tick rate right now. And like in Arena Commander, you're getting that like almost perfect 30 tick, but I think it's still an unstable 30 to where like that's why it feels so off.
Right.
But there's so much like hit reg and stuff like that, which, you know, all they need to do is just get things running properly, and they don't need to go past 30. But
well, see, that's like what I don't know if you heard,
like
but I think the new flight model will kind of put like a kibosh on the whole like desync amongst combat, because it's gonna, people aren't gonna just be able to joust the whole time at 600 SEM the whole time, you know. It's gonna lock them to a combat speed, and then that combat speed will probably have a better, you know, like realization between the assets and like the how the damage is procured for like the trade, like the data for the damage essentially is easier for the system to obtain because they're locked at certain speeds, rather than like this huge dynamic where some people might be moving 300 SCM, one ship might instantly start moving fucking 1300, and then it's like, who knows? We'll just have to see when a new flight model comes in how good the combat desync is between ship to ship.
Like a big part of the desync is for sure the tick rate. If they could just get it to a solid 30, it'd fix a lot of issues.
Yeah, NA and EU were bad. They both barely had like 3 server FPS, so I had to come over to the Australian server.
Is that what we're on right now?
Yeah.
You are clear to launch. Have
I can't wait for hacking gameplay.
Let's go. In here. Milking the cow, you know that?
This is from the Crimson Cartel.
Well, we have two ships above.
You say I have 2 ships?
Yeah, they think they're fucking running Ghost Hollow, and they sent a guy in, and I murked his ass. It's weird. I'm trying to loot him, and it literally only shows me like his scrubs that he spawned in back there. Oh.
Imagine you had to actually like go to like a locker room and change, or else you get like a indecent exposure crime.
Yeah, right there. I like heard somebody running around, and then I like looked down the hallway, and then I like went back into my cover, and then I heard ding 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 like somebody running, and I was like, okay, there's definitely somebody like desyncing through my fucking thing right now.
Right.
Like the sound was like making it through, but the fucking visuals weren't.
Yeah, man. It's crazy. Like, I know I make that argument that it's like the flight model, but it also makes me think that it's like not because of the ground fucking FPS. It's like the same way. So it's like you kind of look at how people move on the ground for each other and just like imagine that in spaceships, but like it's not. You constantly see their ship moving, but the lasers you're shooting at them, like technically even though to you it looks like they're hitting, they're really not, just because it's like that same thing. It's they're there,
Yeah,
but
like,
they're not there.
a lot of these players that like dogfight 24/7, they recommend that like you only use the pip as a reference right now,
Yeah.
and like that's mainly flying fixed, but
I'm gonna go start running drug labs, see if I can catch some fools. Getting a little practice with these Panthers. Piss off some cargo runners.
I've got a meeting with a guy that's like Aiden's fucking dream tech support. Hook me up with
Oh yeah. So what problems have you been having? I didn't really know you were having problems till the other day.
Oh, dude, I haven't been able to stream in months. Bitching about it for months.
And like, what's been the problem?
Just everything setting wise works fine, and like it's showing I'm putting my desktop audio, all my audio like is like reading properly, but the stream is just cutting out.
Huh.
Like my stream key is invalid or something, or like I don't know what it is, because like physically, hardware wise, like everything's fine, but I lose all audio on my stream, all of it, like my voice, my game, all of it. Like, and like it'll change pitch too, like all of a sudden everybody in my chat's like, dude, you sound like a chipmunk. So like it's weird, man.
Have you tried you might need a new
Wow, fucking I literally kill this guy and he's in-capped on the ground just shooting me.
Yeah, so there's like that bug where like you die but you don't die. I wonder if that was what happened. Like Crimix was running around in-capped at Jumptown one day, and like I revived him while he was like running around.
Nice little DC trade, huh? Both dead. Yeah, I shot him. I watched him go in-capped, lay on the ground, and he's still just like ADS shooting the piss out of me in-capped. And like I'm third person right now, and they're dead. Just decent, like the game was still registering his mag dump long after he was dead on the ground.
Yeah, that's part of what pisses me off about Ghost Hollow as well. Like, even when it's running good, the server's not running good, so it's like it could be fucking could be the best fun you could ever have, but motherfuckers will still be teleporting around type of shit, and you just gotta be like kind of anticipating the fucking desync. It pisses me off, dude.
Oh, same, dude. Like,
I just want to have good fucking trades with people, man. I just want to fucking.
that's the type of shit that like makes me want to quit the game, to be honest. Like,
yeah.
it just there's no fixing it, you know. And after you play for so long, it's all you can see.
Yeah.
I was like fighting that day during free flight when it was really bad, and I'm sitting here. I've got a sniper rifle at Brio's. It's going good, bro. Yeah. Your homie coming to save you? Tried to get your fucking. On my screen, bro, you were in-capped on the ground, still dumping your fucking mag on.
Yeah, my opinion, just like with the way I like to play the game, if they were to fix the desync on the ground, it would be fucking S-tier gaming, dude. If they could, like, if there was no desync at Siege of Orison type of shit, S-tier, man. Fucking.
Well, it fucks with the RB too.
Yeah.
You're trying to RB and this guy fucking. And this dude's fucking saving his buddy. I tried to kill them both. I killed them both. I traded with the second guy, and now homie's back, like reviving his boy. I'm just sitting here helpless. But yeah, it fucks with the RP too. You know, you're sitting here trying to fucking put together a scene, and all of a sudden, like, one person just starts like he's taking around.
Yeah, their character's standing there, fucking walking in place like he's doing fucking high knees, like he's at fucking football practice. Like, bitch, come on.
Right.
Yeah, man, it's it'll be a glorious day when there's no desync amongst citizens.
Hey,
man.
get the money and get out quick, because I'm coming back with an A2. Yeah, it's corny, man. I hate it so much. I just try to like not think about it, honestly. Like I try to basically RP that Star Citizen's already done. And in my mind, you know what I mean? Now I'm not sitting here
Yeah,
like,
I just take it with a grain of salt type of deal. You know, when it's good, it's good. When it's shit, it's shit. You know, that's just kind of how it is.
yeah. Like nothing we do is gonna fucking prove the fucking desync anytime soon.
Yeah, so it's like you kind of just gotta take it as you get it, man. It sucks. Everything we want to do kind of just is fucking scuffed a lot of times. Oh, I got a fishy. What do you got on you, Doc? What do you got on you, Doc?
Yeah, Ghost Hollow has been a pain in the dick because just the fucking everybody teleporting around and shit. You have that one little hallway to fight in, and these motherfuckers are just like desyncing around. It's just like RNG whether you win a firefight. Sucks. But you could be the best FPS player in the world. You mag dump them before they even see you, and because the game doesn't register it fast enough, they still have the reaction time to fight you back, even though you just mag dump them in the temple.
Oh, is he
without them
leaving?
looking
Is he
at you.
trying to fucking leave? He's got something on him. All right. I just had to check you, man. I just had to find out and see what you got.
Right.
I'm gonna let you go.
I'm starting to think, bro, that it's who's standing completely still that has the advantage.
Yeah.
Because they're like feet solid on the ground. The tick rates aren't having to like rethink what they're about to do. They're just boots on the ground shooting in that one spot at that one area. Whereas if you're like running and gunning, shit might get lost in the pig. But like I've always just tried to sprint around on motherfuckers to like abuse the desync and like try to let them see me, but I feel like the rat play is honestly the best. Motherfuckers always like complain that I'm invisible when I'm like prone in a corner. Like I'll be like prone in a corner, dude will walk in and I'll kill him. And he'll yell in chat, bro, you were fucking invisible. And then I'll walk up to loot his corpse and he sees that I'm actually there.
Yeah. It's. I fucking hate that people like that stupid fucking loser that made a video about us. The invisible bug is worse than ever. People are exploiting it, so now it's like every fucking nerd's like, you're invisible!
People are crying invisibility a lot right now, dude.
And it's just server desync, bro. It's literally.
Especially on ground combat, without a doubt. No, I'm working on it right now.
This Corsair's lucky I didn't catch him with this fucking package.
Still waiting to hear
bro.
back from him. Oh, baby? Yeah, I'm gonna do all that while you're staying at home with the dog. I'm gonna take care of everything while you stay home with the dog. I'm gonna take care of everything. Shopping, all of that, while you stay home with the dog.